Akwaaba, welcome to my yoga channel. My name is Mark, and this channel is called Akwaaba Yoga. Akwaaba means welcome. And today we're going to just come into some movements to really stretch out the upper back, the shoulders, the lower back. Just find movement into the spine. I like to do these either first thing in the morning or just before bed. But if you do have any pain in your back, please do consult with your GP or your osteopath. But no, please feel free to use this at any point during the day, particularly if you find yourself working at your desk, as most of us now are at the moment. Let's all come down to our knees, put our feet together, our knees apart. I'm going to just bring the torso down as we come into a child's pose. We're nice and relaxed through the shoulders, our palms are on the ground, releasing any tension in the jaw and the shoulders. Just let yourself feel grounded. Feel supported by the mat here. And slowly start to come up onto the fingernails, onto the fingertips, and just start to bring some gentle movements of the shoulders as you roll them in, out, towards the ears and away from the ears. Let's come back into stillness, and on the next inhale, I'm going to push up and all meet in our tabletop. And from here, I'm starting to find some nice movement through the spine as we come into a cat and cow. So on inhale, we're going to take the gaze up as we look towards the front diagonal. And on the exhale, push our hands into the mat, curl into the angry cat pose. As we take a gaze to our navel, let's go again. Inhale, we're going to look up, and on the exhale, return back to the angry cat pose. On inhale, again, find nice length through the upper body, through the chest, before just coming to a nice freestyle. The freestyle element is something I love bringing to the practice. It really hones the mind for us to take responsibility for our practice, really finish any nooks and crannies, see where the tension is. Just really undulate through that back, shake out through the head, and once you're ready, just come back into station position, and then elongate, lengthen out that right leg back, and take that left hand forward. I'm going to start to curl in as we go knee to nose. It's going to take 3 odd days. Really lengthen out, create length, really stretch for the front of the room, and curl in through the shoulders, and then place that right leg down and that left hand down. I'm going to come straight to the other side, so it's right hand forward, left hand back. Inhale to lengthen out, exhale to really curl in. Really lengthen out through the spine. Float the leg up one more time, and curl in, knee to nose, engage through the core, and then come back into a neutral. We'll come in for one more cat and cow, take our gaze up, and then push into the mat, find a space in between the shoulder blades in angry cat. Now, curl the toes under, I'll push your hands into the mat and come up into our first downward facing dog. Slowly lift yourself up and start to find movement in your legs here. Just walk the legs forwards and back. Maybe come onto the toes. Push your hands into the mat. Really take your tailbone as high as you can. That'll just help to create extra length in your back here. Start to walk the feet a bit further forward. We're going to start to look to take a twist to the bodies. Take the right hand just on the outside of the left foot. We're taking our gaze underneath the left armpit. Come to a nice twist with the lower back. And it's also really good one to work the internal digestive organs. Let's take the other side, so left hand this time to the outside of the right foot. Again, this time we're taking our gaze underneath our right armpit. If you can't reach the the right foot, then maybe make a grab for the right shin. Let's all come back into neutral as we will meet back again in our downward facing dog before rocking forwards and coming into high plank. Just rock forwards and back onto the toes. Again, try and keep length in the spine. Let's all drop our knees, uncurl the toes, and we'll come straight down to the mats. So again, let the mat support you here. Just rest your head on your forearms. I'm going to start to just raise that left leg up and down 3 times. So it's a really lovely exercise to work the lower back. Once you've done the left side, let's again float up that right leg. Lengthen that through the spine. Keep your breath nice and soft. When you finish, just plant your foot down, and let's come up into Sphinx pose. The forearms are nicely flat on the mat. You can just pull the torso through the arms. Just energetically feel as you're pulling yourself forward and then bring yourself back down. Just take 3 more of these. So as you put yourself forward, you just avoid dumping yourself into your lower back. Go for 1 more. On the inhale, really lengthen up to the gaze, up, and then come back down. Now just start to walk your elbows a bit further out, so your arms down cactus. And when I go, start to lift the torso up. And as you bring your elbows up, just come to a slight pinch between your shoulder blades. We can take 3 of these. It's a nice stretching locus, stretching up through the front of the body. And just to finish up the sequence, we're going to combine this with the legs. So we're coming up with the torso, the arms, and the feet. You flex with the toes or point them out, and then come back down, rest on the mat. Stay for 1 breath, maybe shake out through the head. Just push yourself up. I'm going to just spin the body around and come lying onto our backs. Just engage the core as we slowly go down. Just tune inwards, and just don't forget to keep focusing on your inhale and exhale. Just pull the knees in and massage out through the lower back, taking your knees in a circular position, circular momentum, I should say. Lengthen up through the legs, and again, come nicely back onto the mat. Start to lift up the right leg, and interlace the hands underneath the right thigh. On the inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, start to release and see if you've got any more room in that lower spine, just to bring that leg a bit further over, and then relax that right leg down. Let's just switch and take the other side. So we're just coming up with that left leg, taking interlace behind the left hamstring. Inhale, we'll lengthen up. Exhale, we're releasing. And again, it's a real good one for finding space in your lower back. Be mindful if you've got sciatica. It's a really good stretch for sciatica, but again, you're not looking for any sort of discomfort here. Again, bring your knees in, just tuck your knees in, and just massage out through your lower back, through your spine. Keep the breath nice and steady. We're now going to let's take a supine twist. So tucking in that right knee, we're going to take that left hand up and over the outside of the right knee, and then draw that right knee, that right leg over at a right angle to the other side of the room, towards the left side. If your knee doesn't touch the floor, it's all good. Feel free to use a block, or if you can, just move the block to one side. Choose that left hand on top of the right knee for a bit of resistance. Take your gaze over towards the right hand side. Again, this is a really lovely stretch. Start from your lower back, going up for your mid back and then upper back. Just come up towards center, give yourself 1 more pull in, and then lengthen out again through that right leg. This time draw in that left knee, and just take the other side. So this time you're taking your right hand onto the outside of the left knee, and then draw in that knee up and over that body. You can use your right hand for resistance, you're not forcing the leg down, but then just take your gaze over towards the left side, and then fan out your left hand, your left arm towards the left side of the room. Just hold it here and breathe. And on the next breath out, just bring your knees back in towards the body, and just start to massage the back as we go up and down for a rock and roll. Massage all the way along the length of the spine. And come back into a station position. We're going to come into happy baby. So from here, you're taking the outside of your respective foot. Try to keep your lower sacrum, your lower back on the mat. You'll find room for your hips here. This is one you can hold all day. It's a really, really lovely stretch for your hips. Let's bring the feet back down. So we're going for Baddha Konasana on the legs. So feet together and hips apart. Just take the inside of your hips and just creating length again through your lower back. So on the inhale, lengthening on the exhale, just use your hands to push into your thighs. As if you're energetically forcing your thighs away from your body, from your torso. Just come back to center. Again, let's take that massage through that lower back again. Take it clockwise and anti-clockwise. Keep your breath nice and soft. As we go again for that rock and roll, massaging through that through our back, through our spine. And on the last rock up, we're going to float up and come up into a seated position. Just shake out through the legs. We're going to tuck that left foot so it sits just instead of our right thigh. Taking a nice easy forward bend here. Lift your arms nice and high and then just let gravity take control and just flop down. If you can, try and keep your spine nice and long. I've got a bit of a funny spine. But you're not trying to force the grip, you're not trying to force the agenda. Maybe take your grip towards your shin. Just energetically feel as if you're drawing your chest towards your shin as opposed to your head towards your knee. And then when you're ready, come back up, come into a seated spinal twist. Take your left leg up and over your right thigh. Maybe pull your right foot sits beside you. We're going to lengthen up through that right arm. Just use the hook of the elbow to grab the knee. Place that left arm behind you. It was sitting nice and tall. On the inhale to lengthen up, exhale to twist. Again, just try and keep your chin over your chest. So we're twisting from the belly as opposed to from the neck. Once you've done 3 of those, let's release out, just bending towards the other side. Lengthen out your legs just back in front of you. And we'll come into the other side. So this time it's the right foot tucking in towards the left thigh. Again, we're sitting nice and tall. And then just letting gravity bring us down. Maybe flex your left toes towards your face, and again energetically feel as if your chest is coming towards your shin. If it's there, if you take the grip, as long as you can maintain that length in your spine, just go for it. Create a nice stretch in your hamstring here. And then come back towards center. This time you're lifting your right foot up and over that left thigh. Maybe pull that left foot behind you. So this time your left arm's going up. The hook of your elbow is catching your right knee, your right hand's going behind you. Really focus on keeping your left buttock on the mat. You're not raising your left hip up. But on the inhale, lengthening. On the exhale, you're finding that twist. You can keep your chin over your chest. Go for 3 of those. Come back towards center. Shake out through the legs. I'm going to come in, face the camera. So come onto your knees, maybe sit down on a block. Come to stationary position before taking your arms into a T position. We're going to start by taking that right arm underneath the left arm as we come to eagle arms. So really draw the shoulders up by lifting the elbows and creating a nice stretch in the upper back. Keep your breath nice and steady here. Feel free if you desire to bring your head into your arms. Just relax through the neck. And then release. Let's come back into that T. This time we're going left arm under right. Just catch both hands. Again, draw up through your elbows. Create a nice stretch in the upper back on the other side. And then release out. As we come towards the end, let's just take some rolls off the shoulders, go backwards and forwards. If you're sitting on a block, just move it to one side. We're going to spin back around. We're going to come back with our knees hip distance apart. Feel free to keep your feet hip distance apart. I like to bring my feet together. I'm going to just come down into puppy pose here. So we're going to keep the hip bones stacked over the knees and start to walk the body forward. If your head doesn't reach the mat, feel free to use a block. Your arms are sprayed out in front of you, or if you have got the space, feel free to move the block and just bring your forehead to the mat. I love this one. It's a really nice opening in between the shoulder blades. If you've got space, maybe bring your chin to the mat. And if you want to level up again, see if you can walk the torso a bit further forwards, and this time bring your chest towards the mat. This is another pose I can stay in all day. But when you do come to this, just be mindful to be suitably warmed up. So it creates a nice opening in your chest as well. So finish up, we're going to just push back up into child's pose. Again, you should have a bit more room in between your hips now, given the stretch you've done. To return back, we're going to meet in child's pose. Again, feel supported by the mat. Relax into your breath. Hope you enjoyed that session. This is Akwaaba Yoga. Feel free to like this if it was to your liking, or subscribe to the channel, and look forward to seeing you again in the future. Take care. Have a great day. Bye bye.